me put a different spin on it.
Okay.
I think I don't want to pile on what everybody else is saying, which is how terrible this is, and it is. I'm actually think this is going to be good in the long term. This has been going on for a long time against other groups, and schools have been looking the other way because those groups don't give money to the university. Okay. Now they've upset their donor base. The $100 million at Penn is going to make changes. The money that is not going to go to Harvard is going to make changes. You will see better free speech on college campuses going forward because it's finally gone too far and impacted the people that give them money, and money is what changes.
The basic job of a university president is to raise money. Yep. Is it not? Like, if that's not one, that's 1A or 1B.
This will make things better in the long run.
All right.
That's the sad state of our public, our private education, our public education too often. And I think that stepping back, right now we have a problem in America, not only with anti-Semitism, but also we've got Islamophobia. We've got too many, people who are going into their own tribes and not looking across, and finding similarity, commonality with one another. And I want to see, I saw the yes, no, answer yes, no question. And I find that ironic because politicians never answer a yes, no question.
I mean, fair. It was also a great line of questioning, though, that elicited that response.
But I want to know, what are they doing to bring together communities on college campuses and respect, empower, include?
And that's the biggest point here. The Education Trust, national advocacy nonprofit in education, focused in on campus racial climate. It was a report that they released probably a month ago, and it was probably a month and a half ago at this point. It was pointedly speaking to several surveys they did across various universities, and students of color, students from various religious backgrounds. They have said over and over again that they do not know where to report when conversations or conflict is happening, where to report that level of violence or threat to them. They do not believe that staff is actually supporting them, in many cases the president's either. They also have been voicing in advocacy that they need to do more. They need to do more to feel like they belong on these campuses, like they're supported. It's not enough to just have an area to themselves, essentially, right, because we know that there are those that are hoisted on campuses. But I think that with what is going on in Israel right now, it is amplified what many students have been saying for a very long time and have really been trying to cue in a lot of our university presidents on for a while.
The difference is that this is for some reason, the Jewish people continue to be the exception to the rule that everyone wants for everyone else. It seems like, for some reason, Jewish people are carved out of what applies to everyone else, or at least we all agree should apply to every other ethnic and racial group. And so I hope that things get so much worse for these university presidents. They're not going to get better until these people, you cannot walk back words like the words that were said there that were so harmful to them. And just like during Black Lives Matter, where we said, it's true that, yes, all lives matter, but at this moment, Black Lives Matter. That's the issue that we're dealing with now. I think we need to stay laser focused on addressing the issue at hand, which is that right now the Jewish people are coming under attack like never before.
But we're also saying that Jewish students have been under attack before. Many of these, Jewish students were also elevating these voices last year, the year prior, the past 10 years on these campuses. No, that's true. But if they had changed and made those things aware, if they had made changes in policy and in recommendations at that time, then we would have seen a diminishment. Not that everything would go away. I still think there would be some people who went outside of the norm, but we would see college and university presidents not having the trouble they are now. What happened was they did not change any of their policies.
That answer
they didn't listen to the students.
From the universities was so...
They give you a different perspective from a different one of my schools, right? Georgetown University. There was an effort to kick the traditional marriage club off of campus a couple years back as a hate group for preaching hate speech at a Catholic university over a traditional marriage between one man and one woman. This is the same university that still allows the students for Palestine. So this is going to change now that they've gotten to the heart of the matter, which is the money.
But Amisha has a point here, and that is that there has been hate on college campuses for a long time. And I think stepping back, what are we going to do to try to figure out how to get people out of that hateful ideology? And I think it's interesting, Derek Black, who's the godson of David Duke, the former KKK Grand Wizard, he went to college, and when people found out he was the godson and he'd said awful things, they did not ban him from the group. They accepted him, and then they tried to change his ideology, and they did.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.